like this plot for me, it's such a boring idea. Like I've already seen Groundhog Day, I've already seen Run Lola Run, I've seen these types of movies. I didn't even go watch Happy Death Day because I already know that it's the same kind of thing. It just, the plot gets tiring, I feel like. But this film actually, it never felt that way for me. I felt like the plot didn't get super boring or tiring.
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? Drive By Movies coming at you with another episode of
Fresh Releases.
My name is James.
My name's Blaze.
And today we are checking out the new Hulu exclusive Palm Springs, directed by Max Barbakow.
Stop! There's a bomb in the cake. Don't worry, I used to be a bomb guy. Stand back!
Oh my God!
Let me make it plain. Gotta make...
Palm Springs is starring Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. Palm Springs' plot is about when a carefree Niles and reluctant maid of honor, Sarah, have a chance encounter at a Palm Springs wedding. Things get more complicated as they are unable to escape the venue, themselves, or even each other.
Gotta say, just kidding, Simmons. He's like one of my favorite actors these days.
J.K. Simmons.
That's all I can think about whenever I hear J.K. Palm Springs. I went into it with super high hypes. On the Twitter feed, the people I'm following were hyping it up. Got a couple of texts like saying, oh, you need to check out Palm Springs. For the most part, I genuinely enjoyed it. It's nothing groundbreaking. There's movies that are similar that I prefer over it. Like we've talked about other kind of movies that do similar things. I'll bring those up in later on, but for the most part, it's a solid movie. One of the better straight to streaming movies that we've watched recently over the past couple quarantine months. So it was an enjoyable watch, and I do recommend it. I'd say so far, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say I had no idea what this was going in. I thought, oh, this is going to be like a post-apocalyptic movie or something. That's the vibe that I just caught from, the poster has them in this like swimming pool and they're just like chilling. And then I just remember like Palm Springs, like visiting it myself. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely going to be a post-apocalyptic vibe. I was definitely caught off guard by the idea of this time loop. And you're kind of watching this movie that's definitely, takes notes from films like Groundhog Day, kind of takes that same plot and, takes it in a different place, which I thought was actually really interesting. As soon as, the plot was kind of revealed, I was like, oh, no, I didn't want to watch one of these movies. After, like 3 viewings of Run Lola Run, I have to question whether I'm in a Run Lola Run simulation myself. But it just feels like this plot for me, it's such a boring idea. Like I've already seen Groundhog Day, I've already seen Run Lola Run, I've seen these types of movies. I didn't even go watch Happy Death Day because I already know that it's the same kind of thing. It just, the plot gets tiring, I feel like. But this film actually, it never felt that way for me. I felt like the plot didn't get super boring or tiring, being that it was somewhat like a predictable plot where like, oh, things are going to change. But it's always going to be the same. Like the loop will always be the same. Where this, I felt like every time they re-looped and like lived like this day again, it was like different enough where I wasn't bored. Like the plot was really entertaining. I was really into this movie.
Yeah, one thing I definitely want to show my appreciation for are the actors in this movie. They really keep it together. Andy Samberg, I kind of feel bad just because with him being associated with SNL, like I really find that show kind of repetitive at times. So I kind of went into like all his movies, like just being like, oh, not this SNL guy. But he's really stood out since he got out of SNL. Nothing against people enjoy it. I enjoyed it at one point. Just it's just not for me anymore. But I really enjoyed his like Lonely Island music videos. Like they're immature, but they're funny though. And I really I think what sold me on him was Celeste and Jesse Forever. That movie kind of just looked like a comedy that like was catering towards the SNL crowd at first, but when I watched it, I genuinely like really loved that movie. And so I've always been like excited to see more those kind of style movies from him. And even though this movie is very different, like I enjoyed his performance with this. He really holds it together, and his chemistry with Kristen in this movie. Even though I've only seen her in just How I Met Your Mother in a couple episodes, like she was really great and enjoyable in this movie as well.
Yeah, I didn't actually know I mean, I know Andy Samberg, of course, know J.K. Simmons. Wasn't, familiar with her previous work. I thought she really knocked it out of the park. She's just a lot of fun to watch in this movie. And just Andy Samberg's character, I feel like he always, plays this kind of same, character, but it really worked in this movie because he's supposedly been in this time loop for 40 years. So he's very kind of over it, and it just adds for a lot of funny elements, a lot of the funny situations in this movie, and taking that Groundhog's Day plot and putting it on its head was just funny. How he's kind of tried everything under the sun at this wedding. He's swaying both ways with all guests, and it just thought that was a hilarious idea. He just became open to everything almost. He has this awesome night with J.K. Simmons, and J.K. Simmons I wish this night could that just cracked me up. I don't know. It was just a really funny, this movie was really funny. It could partly be maybe I watched this movie in 6 months and it doesn't age as well, but I felt especially now, a lot of us are deprived of just, some good old laughs, and this felt this was cutting edge, plot, and it's just a wild, funny movie. I just really enjoyed it. I thought I really didn't go in expecting a ton, but I heard a lot of people don't look up anything about this movie, just go watch it. And I felt that's the way I did it. That's probably what made it so enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I kept seeing ads for it on, one of the things I watch most on Hulu is really just Seinfeld reruns and stuff. And every once in a while there's a movie that I know is specifically on Hulu that I'll want to check out. But what's it called? I kept seeing the trailer, but I'd try to avoid it just because I knew we were going to review it ahead of time. And so going in, I didn't know really the plot. I just knew it kind of had some sort of sci-fi Twilight Zone-esque element to it. And so when it was that, I was just I've kind of seen this before. Even though I haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow. I know that's one of the more well-received ones and stuff, and Happy Death Day I know is pretty well received, but those plots have been done before, but I still like seeing the different scenarios of this and them taking advantage. I guess if you're gonna live every day, you might as well just be sarcastic and mean and just shoot up the craziest drugs you can think of just to experience it, because you'll be fine the next day. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious and stuff, but it reminded me of other movies though. I wasn't Seeking a Friend at the End of the World. It kind of reminded me of that, and also the one I love, just couples experiencing just weird hijinks and stuff, where they're just really dark comedies. Those are movies I'd recommend to check out if you enjoyed this kind of movie.
Yeah, definitely. I totally forgot about Seeking a Friend from the Underworld, but this film and that I feel definitely have a very similar comedy styles. Just very dark, but still pretty funny. And I think the word, everyone hates the word, but I think they definitely both fall under the word quirky.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I remember they both had very wild moments, and just it's just an odd pairing kind of movie, but you enjoy it, and just you really want them to end up together in the end and stuff, despite all the weird differences that they might have, or just the weird experiences that they're going through. And J.K. Simmons was just a fun character to kind of just keep it going as well too. I always forgot he can do it all. He can be a serious guy that will scare you, and then he can also just be very comedic as well too. And a loving dad character as well too. He can do it all, and I always forget about him and feel he's always underutilized. We see him a lot, but I want to see him more almost.
Yeah, he can be a psychopath, an angry teacher. He can even not just be a JK, but even be a JJ.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well done there.
So, if you guys have Hulu, I definitely recommend checking this out, because I don't feel there's that much stuff that really does pop up exclusively on Hulu, especially when we're talking about movies. I don't feel that much stuff. Maybe it's only a couple things a year. Maybe they're trying to ramp up their game, and maybe I might even be forgetting a ton of stuff. So definitely let me know in the comments below if there's other great things on Hulu. I felt this really made me appreciate I guess having a Hulu account, because oftentimes I'm thinking about canceling it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've been saving on there where I was just oh, so of all channels, this movie's on there, cool. There are some hidden gems on there, but just it's the app that I'm not really going to go searching through, just because it has the most awkward layout I've ever seen. But if they keep, I do want to see Hulu succeed in the movie department. So if they keep picking up movies like this, I just really hope that they continue to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. And this, if you guys didn't know, was the most expensive film to ever sell at Sundance. And probably like one of those films that actually, if we got further in the year, there's going to be a lot of films that might get shelved from Sundance this year. You'd think with the, current climate and the fact that there are no theaters open. So this film was, bought by Hulu, and definitely everyone got to watch it because there's not a lot of new movies out at the moment.
Yeah, I think I've heard pretty much all coworkers. Like I was saying earlier, like we've seen it on our Twitter feed, gotten a couple texts like, oh, you should check out Palm Springs. Like, don't worry, we're going to do it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We always appreciate the support. And the best way to support the show is by leaving a comment below and letting us know what you thought of Palm Springs. You can go ahead and watch that film exclusively on Hulu.
After doing that, please smash that like button. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell to get all our latest updates on our new videos.
That's it for fresh releases this week. Tune in next week for a brand new video.